I had said it. She did not say it back.
That's not true.
No. The first time, she.
That's such a rom-com moment.
Yeah.
Let me just say.
And then I kind of like took it back out of embarrassment. But then. My name is Nicko.
I'm Olivia. I've been dating for about 5 years now.
How we met. So we actually met back in college. She was a freshman. I was a junior at the time. And we were playing the piano in the music area of the college, actually in separate practice rooms. And I was playing Me and Sebastian's theme from La La Land. And
I was playing Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran.
so that was the extent of it. Like, we were just both playing, minding our own business.
We both
and
heard each other.
yeah. And I thought, I should go compliment this person's playing because I really liked it. They're like really good. But I didn't do that. But then
I kind of had the same thought, and I just decided I was going to be brave and just go talk to this person. So I went over and I saw it was a guy. I was like, I can't go over there because, I'm too shy. This is like my first weekend at college. And I decided to just go with it. And I opened the door and I was like, oh my goodness, you were the guy playing the song, right? And he was like, yeah, were you the person playing, the other song? And, that's how we met, just from hearing each other play music.
but we didn't talk after that.
No.
She just gave the compliment and walked away.
Yeah.
And by chance, we kept running into each other more and more afterwards, to a point where we were just like, let's just grab a meal together. And then from there, we started talking more and more, and then built a friendship, and now here we are 5 years later.
We were both kind of, in denial about the fact that we wanted to start dating. I definitely had feelings first. I was very quickly, infatuated.
Should we give like some extra detail?
Go for it.
So actually, when we first met, she had a boyfriend at the time, and I was interested in someone else. And we just became friends. We built a very good relationship, and she had broken up with her boyfriend for like other reasons. And the person I was interested in, we realized it wouldn't work out. So then we just built upon a friendship, and there was like a moment in time where we realized, like, with a relationship with someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with, there are certain factors that come in that are like a best friendship. So that was when, right around the 6 months, where we were like, like, I see myself being with you, and you see yourself being with me, and we were just like, we should just be together at this point.
So we were actually technically officially dating when we had our first date. And we originally had planned on going on a picnic together on our campus, and there was like a freak snowstorm. So essentially we were like, let's just bring it inside. So I went over to his apartment, and it was like a whole blizzard, and we had a picnic inside. We set up like a blanket on the ground, and we had buffalo chicken tenders from like the dining hall, and we played chess, and we watched the 2005 Pride and Prejudice movie together.
Who said I love you first?
That was me.
Yeah.
And I had said it. She did not say it back.
That's not true.
No. The first time, she did. Well, I'll say it, and then you can
I'll tell my
agree or
side.
disagree. So I said it. She didn't say it back, and then I kind of like took it back out of embarrassment. But then
I forgot about that.
there was a moment. Do you want to? The grand moment.
I love this story. Okay, so we were hanging out together, and it was like at night on campus, and we had just decided to part ways, so we just like hugged, and we both we could tell both of us wanted to say that we loved each other, but we were just both so afraid of committing to someone again, and so we just kind of parted ways, and we just walked separately along this path going the opposite direction, and then all of a sudden I hear these footsteps in the crunching snow, and I turn around, and it's him running toward me, and he kisses me and he says, I love you. And I give him a big hug, and I was like, I love you too. And then he was like, oh, whoa, that's so cool.
And it was snowing at the time as well.
Snowing.
Another snowstorm aspect. favorite things about Olivia is, I would say, her drive, her passion, and what would be the last thing? Just how much she is herself. I would say that's my favorite thing.
I think my favorite things about Nicholas would be, I think you're always very, positive, and I think you're very gracious toward other people, and I like that you're always on the look for, who needs help. And I also just really appreciate how committed you are to discovering who you are. I think some things I'm hoping for in our future, I'm really looking forward to building a house together and, buying a space and just kind of making it our own and making it, full of, memories and just parts of us coming together. I'm also really excited to travel with you. I feel like the times we've gotten to go on road trips together, and I don't know, I'm just really excited to travel the world together. I'm also really excited to cook with you in the future. I feel like we have a good time cooking, and I want to do that at our own house.
I'm just excited to discover more new things together as a couple, whether that be cooking, traveling, and anything and everything. The obstacles we faced as a couple would be probably most of our relationship, actually about 3 of the 5 years that we were together, was long distance. So there was a period of time where she was in college, I was at home working, and then there was a period where she studied abroad in England, and I actually did some traveling as well, to where I was in France for a while and then Japan, and DC. She was in Washington DC for it was a year. So a lot of our relationship was like distance over FaceTime, texting. We even sent I sent a postcard from France from where I was, where I wrote like a whole like love letter, and there was even with that distance we really had to be creative to keep our relationship strong. So there was like even one point to get through it where she was in DC during that year, and I made a whole thing of letters that like a dozen letters with poems that I'd written out, and I gave them all to her once at one visit, and I would have her open them at random days, so she always had them, and we can like keep that consistency. Actually, I think it's been about five months now that this is. So the past 5 months out of our whole 5 years, this is like the first time we're like together in the same place, and that's how we intended to be forever.
Yeah. I feel like it's just really nice because we've been talking about this for so long and saying, oh, imagine what it will be like when we finally are like no longer not long distance and we can just be together. And I think it's nice to kind of reach this stage because it kind of closes the chapter on the earlier stages of our relationship, and I think we worked really hard on communication and figuring out how to keep our relationship at a solid point and figuring out how to overcome disagreements and things like that while we're long distance. I think it really helped us out. And it's interesting because we weren't long distance at the beginning of our relationship, and then the middle point was long distance, and now we're not long distance anymore. It's interesting to kind of compare how we were together at the very beginning and then compared to now.
All right. Can you give me the definition of love?
I feel like love, off the top, love I would think is sacrifice, where you feel love towards another person when it's like there's no limit to what you would do for them, whether it's from your time or going out of your way, just an action or something. Like with Olivia, like my love for her is us spending time together and showing whether I get her like a gift, thoughtful or something. There was even a time when we were in Rhode Island where a car had swerved towards us and I had pulled her out of the way and I got hit by the car. So whether that's the lowest form of like sacrifice, like the highest form, it's just there's no bounds. So then I think that's what I see as love.
I think for me, love is a way of finding home in a person. I think it's a way of feeling, safe and feeling unafraid to be yourself and say all of the random thoughts that come into your head. I think it's who you want to look to when good things happen to you and who you want to look to when bad things happen to you. And I think I found that.
I want to have a final thought, but I can't.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I think I will say as a final thought, one thing that I appreciate with our relationship is that we fully embrace and encourage the other person to become who they want to be. Olivia had received the opportunity to be in DC for a year, and I could have easily been like, oh no, like don't go to DC, like we've been waiting so long to build upon our life together. But instead, that didn't even like cross my mind. I said, oh, you gotta go for it, gotta make it happen. So we were constantly encouraging, pushing each other to become our best selves, even if that puts other things a little back.